Hi guys, it's me, Dimension Battles, and I'm going to be showing you my new card game. So I told you guys I was going to make a new card game for a 1 week challenge where I'm going to make a brand new card game in just 1 week. And this is the first video for this challenge. So this is going to be pretty good because I have a whole week to make a card game. I recorded the first 2 speed arts already for 2 cards that I made, and it turned out pretty good so far. So the entire idea behind this card game is it's basically rock, paper, scissors, but with superheroes. I'm going to make an in-depth rule video sometime soon, probably the day after this video is uploaded, because I'm going to be uploading every other day or every day practically for this series, and it's going to be pretty great. So if you guys are excited, then make sure to subscribe to my channel. And yeah, so first off, with drawing him, I had this general idea where his hands would be shooting out lightning, and that's kind of what I based this off of, because I wanted him to look like just the superhero where he has like lightning on him, and it turned out pretty cool. So I know what you guys are thinking. Usually I don't like it when my YouTubers change things up, but I thought, you know what, I feel like making a superhero card game, and it'll be fun to do something different. So hopefully you guys have fun watching this. Also, it's pretty much the same thing, just changing up my content just a little bit. It'll still be good. So yeah, so he has like these two like magnet looking things. That's kind of they're magnet looking hands, and they're just shooting out lightning from it. And yeah, so he's gonna be generally gonna have a yellow theme to him because I wanted him to look as good guys as possible for the very first card I made. I'm thinking a lot while I'm making this because I want to decide what art style I want to use. I'm just using the same thing I normally do, but as you'll see for newer cards that I'll make later on, they're going to be more muscular, I guess you could say, because they're more like superhero-ish. This one was still kind of like simple and like I usually more anime like, I guess. So that's kind of one thing that's different about it, and it was fun to experiment with like a different art style kind of, and it ended up being pretty cool. So I decided I was really having a hard time right here deciding what color I want to make his body. I just ended up doing the pale blue, like baby blue, or that is more like pale blue really. I ended up just doing the pale blue right here, and I think it turned out pretty good looking because I didn't want him to like look too blue, but at the same time I didn't want it to look too dull, so I ended up just making it one little area of darker blue, then just blending it all together with my light blue or my dull blue Copic marker. And then right over here, I'm still thinking about what I'm going to do because I know for a fact that this card game is going to be a little bit different, so I didn't know for sure what I wanted to do with it. Don't think your video is frozen. Even though it's sped up, I was like legitimately thinking for about 1 minute straight about what I want to do for this, and I ended up doing I was going to do a muscle. Look, look how silly that looks. I was just going to literally do a muscle, but that looked too strange. So I ended up just doing a fist like I normally do, so kind of a little bit confusing, but when I make the rule video, it'll make a lot more sense. So there we go, I just did the standard fist just right in the middle that I did for most of my cards. I did a little bit more detailed than my normal one because I wanted to look a little bit different, but still pretty cool. So I just have this blue fist, and I decided to grab my dull yellow marker and just add a little bit more lightning on the right hand, because when I was looking at it, I was like, well, you know, it would be weird if only one arm was shooting lightning, so now there's lightning shooting out of both hands. It's pretty cool. If you guys did make it this far in the video, comment lightning, because there's no other reason why you shouldn't. I decided to do that because I saw some people do that, and I thought, you know what, it might be fun to try that in this video, so just comment lightning, and I might like heart a few people who do it. It'll be fun. But also, just comment down any suggestions you have. Also, so basically, this is superhero rock, paper, scissors game. There's good guys, bystanders, and superheroes. Comment down what name you guys think I should name this card game, okay? I'll put the link in the description to whoever's channel gets the name that I use my card game. So whatever comment, so just comment down any name suggestions for this card game that you think sounds good, and whichever one I end up using, I'll just like link their channel in the description of one of my videos, and I think it'll be pretty cool. So yeah, it's kind of like a mini competition because I want you guys like involved in this, and I thought it'd just be kind of fun to do something different, so it's turning out pretty good. Okay, so I'm just coloring the street right now. Honestly, the house looked kind of weird because it was slanted on the right side. Not exactly how I wanted it to come out, but you know what? It still turned out pretty decent looking in the end. Just the purple house. The angle looked a little bit off, but you can't even tell because, you know, it's okay. I wanted to make it look correct, but then end up looking a little bit strange, not as good as I would have wanted it, but it still turned out to be a pretty cool card. So on to the next one. I knew for a fact I wanted to make a villain because it's definitely what I wanted to do next, but I want to look completely different than any other cards you've seen me draw, or I guess it's kind of similar, but I didn't want to make it a person, okay? Right off the bat, I already had that. Actually, I didn't even have that idea when I drew. I just remembered I was going to draw a giant face that was going to take up the entire, like, card, and then in the end I wanted to make a cool looking mask, and I was like, wait a minute, this looks like horns. So I ended up making this cool, crazy creature looking thing because I wanted to make like a giant creature, something completely different for the bad guys because I wanted them to look like really cool, and I was really inspired also because I'm doing something different, and it ended up being pretty fun. So the first thing I wanted to do is I knew for a fact I wanted a whole bunch of spikes on it, and the whole entire card just kind of came together really easily for some reason. Sometimes when I draw cards, there's a lot of erasing and redrawing things, but this one came together really quickly, surprisingly, so it ended up being pretty good. So I'm just drawing horns in the back right there, and just filling in, just tracing everything. Another thing that I wanted to focus on, or I've been focusing on for my Dimension Battles cards also, is drawing facial expressions because I wanted to focus on drawing like different expressions because I've noticed recently like a lot of them are getting repetitive. So I wanted like someone scowling or like someone like contempt or a bunch of different like expressions, I guess, like one like I'm so angry type of a thing. So that's what I ended up doing for this bad guy. So you can clearly tell it's a bad guy and not a good guy. And I ended up using like a demon or a claw-like hand to draw the logo for scissors for the villains, and it turned out pretty nice because as you can see, I'm just looking at my own hand for reference because it's one of the best things to do when you're drawing cards. Just look at your own hands if you're ever having trouble drawing hands and just redraw how you see it, I guess. So that's what I do for the most part, and it turns out pretty nice. So I'm just using the brush tip to color in the entire face and the entire body. So right now I decided to use this brown color because I wanted to look like an earthy like card, but there's no types either, just villains, heroes, and bystanders. So or like paper, I guess. So I can just pretty much use anything I want. So if this were a dimensional card, it'd be probably an earth type. So yeah, that's why it's generally like darker tones to it. And yeah, and don't worry, I'm still working on Dimension Battles cards also. I actually made a bunch more. After this series is done, it's like a short mini series. I plan to do a new like all of set 7 video pretty soon, which I think will be pretty good. A lot of you guys like where I show like every single card in one set. They tend to get a good amount of views, and a lot of you guys enjoy it, so I think it'll be pretty cool. So here you go. I'm just adding in the dark red crystals all over the place because he is like powered by it basically. I kind of had this idea where he was like a basic like a worm or a dinosaur type creature, but then he was infused by a red powerful creature that allowed him to get stronger. Then he added all this like armor onto himself. That's kind of how he became the card that he is right now. And then also I'm also adding shine on the metal because I want it to clearly look like armor. Cause that's what I was thinking while I was drawing it. So I added just a little bit with my white pen just here and there, just kind of colored over it because I didn't like the way it looked that much, but it was still pretty nice looking. And right now I'm just searching for new colors because like one of the hardest thing about this is creating a background that looks good in my opinion, because I wanted to find a unique color, and I ended up using this pinkish or this like salmon or kind of like a dull red color in order to trace a border around this card in order to make it really stand out and pop, because I wanted new designs that are really different than what I normally do. So it just, going out of my comfort zone, doing something more fun, or not more fun really, just something different. And I think it turned out pretty cool. So now I'm just coloring it with a light blue. I'm just coloring the entire background because, I don't know, it is good to color in the background, I guess. I was going to use Copic markers for the background, but I thought, you know what, I'm using colored pencils. I don't want to waste all my markers or my spree markers that my friend got me at the artist loft. So I use a whole blend of them because, I don't know, it's just fun to use different types of media, because if you use all spree markers, it doesn't turn out the great, or if you use all of one type of marker, it's good to have variation basically. And now I'm just writing down his name. I actually just had to take a quick break right there. I don't even remember what I was doing, but it was obviously something. And then here we go, I'm coloring in lavender for the scissors. And yeah, so hopefully you guys did enjoy this speed art video. It turned out pretty cool. And yeah, so just make sure to comment down below any name suggestions that you guys have. And this is Shelgron. I'm just leaving him right here. If you guys did enjoy this video and you're excited for this series where I make a homemade card game in 1 week, then make sure to leave a like and subscribe. Bye guys.